Welcome to this 5 minutes lower back and hip stretch for mobility and flexibility. We're starting in a cross-legged position, traditional cross-legged or maybe with one heel in front of the other. If you find your lower back aches when you sit or during this class, try sitting up on something higher, so a yoga block or a firm cushion. You can adjust this throughout the class, so if you find your back is aching in any of these movements, try sitting up higher, it really will help. We ideally want the hips level with the knees. So we're going to start with the left leg crossed in front of the right, even if this isn't your most natural way, and begin some isolated pelvic tilts. Inhaling, tipping the pelvis forward like a bowl of water, spilling out the front, and exhale, tipping the pelvis backwards like a bowl, spilling out the back. The movement is isolated to the pelvis, so that's really the only part of your body that's moving. If you would then like to bring the upper body into it a little bit more, then that's fine. Still finding the movements originating from the pelvis, but on the exhalation as the pelvis tips backwards, rounding your spine. And as you inhale and the pelvis tips forward, shining your chest forward and maybe looking up to expose the throat. Making that the last round here. And we'll begin some circles for the hips. Inhaling as you tip the pelvis forward into one sit bone, forward into the other sit bone, and exhaling as you tip the pelvis backward into one sit bone and backward into the second sit bone. So you're circling around, all the movement originating from the pelvis, the upper body coming into it a bit more if you wish. Inhaling as you shine the chest forward and exhaling as you round the shoulders, tipping the pelvis backwards. A helpful visualization is that you have a paintbrush all down the midline of your body and you're painting a circle on the surface underneath you. Let's circle in the other direction. Keep tipping the pelvis forward into the front edges of the sit bones on the inhale, backwards into one sit bone, then the other on the exhale, to feel this movement coming from the pelvis. Inhale, shine the chest forward, lift the chin, but don't let the head flop back. And exhale, round the shoulders, drop the chin, maybe feel a bit of a stretch in the back of the neck. Making this the last round here and coming back to center. Change the cross of your legs, so now you have the right leg crossed in front of the left. And again, you can be traditional cross-legged or one heel in front of the other. Let's begin some pelvic tilts again, isolating the movement at first just to the pelvis. Upper body remains quite still. Inhale, tip the pelvis forward into the front edges of the sit bones, and you will find the curve of the lower back slightly deepening. Then exhale, tip the pelvis backwards. The curve of the lower back will slightly flatten. Maybe you'd like to bring the upper body into it more. So as you inhale, tip the pelvis forward and you shine the chest forward, you will further deepen the curve of the lower back. And then as you exhale, tipping the pelvis backwards and you round the shoulders, you will be rounding the spine. So we're reversing the curves of the whole spine when we bring the upper body into it too. So let's begin some circles. Inhaling as you tip the pelvis forward into one sit bone, forward into the other, backwards into one sit bone, backwards into the other. Circling around, all this movement coming from the pelvis. You'll feel lovely stretches all around the hips and the lower back. Remember, sit up on a higher support if you have any aching in your back here. This short sequence is really ideal to do daily to keep mobility in the lower back and the hip area. Let's circle in the opposite direction. Stay connected with your breath, inhaling as you tip the pelvis forward and open the chest, so you notice how that allows you to take a deeper breath in. And exhaling as you tip the pelvis backwards, rounding the shoulders, noticing how that closes the chest and stretches the back of the body. So the perfect time to let the breath out. These are such wonderful mobility exercises for the hips and lower back. Make this the last round, come back to center and join me again really soon. See if you can practice this every day for wonderful, free feeling lower back and hips. Namaste.